We don't have with us in this group James Tatum of Team USA. Unfortunately, he was not feeling 100% to give it a go at the Pan Am, so he decided not to lift. James, we hope you are at home watching. We've poured out a little kill cliff for a brother who couldn't be here.
James is always an exciting lifter to watch, so hope to see him on the platform again soon. This, the first attempt of the session, brings up Wellison Rosa of Brazil. He's opening at 140 kilograms.
Wellison is a 2016 and 2008 Olympian. He competed in Beijing in the in the 69 kilo category. Placed 18th in Rio, snatched 145 there, opened with this same 140 and made it.
Very nice looking opener. A little pause in the bottom there, but that will be a good lift for Wellison Rosa of Brazil. Let's watch that again from the side. You can see in the bottom position here on the snatch, just a little pause to stabilize. Looks like that bar was tracking back on him, but he was able to keep it from going behind, and he'll be credited with a good opening attempt. Automatic increase for Rosa. I assume that will change, and this will bring up his teammate,
Josu Ferreira, 145 kilos.
Now, JP,
Ferreira
oh, go ahead.
Bombed out last year at the Pan Am Games, excuse me, at the Pan Am Championships with this same 145 that he's about to open with.
Well, he will actually not be opening with that. He has moved up, and this will bring up Olfides Saez of Cuba, who will be opening at 145.
What were you going to ask before the?
Well, I was just going to say, you know, it's a shame that James Tatum was not, I believe he's dealing with a shoulder injury, was not 100% to lift for this competition. However, that opened up a spot for Angelo Bianco in the 77 kilogram category, who we saw last night in dramatic fashion clean and jerk his way to silver medal overall and in the clean and jerk.
Yeah, you know, James was certainly a medal contender for Team USA here, and being that he couldn't be here, if you're going to give up your spot to somebody, I mean, it just goes to show you that we do have a lot of depth in our men's team, and that really has been a great thing to see. And there has been some changes amongst the start list in pretty much every weight class. There is one very important add to this group from Cuba.
Well, right now the lifter will be Bastian Lopez of Chile, who will be opening at 145. The lifter from Cuba electing to go a little bit heavier. Lopez opening attempt 145 kilograms.
Sorry, I meant that change was from Colombia. Get into that in a minute, but now here is Lopez, as you mentioned, 145. Just a bit back.
And we've seen that happen a few times. We can watch it from the side on the replay here. Lifters who on their first attempt, the strength is there, the speed is there. Positioning maybe just a little bit off, or timing just a little bit off. But he will have 2 more attempts, 2-minute clock for Lopez. I believe he will be taking that weight again.
This is pretty healthy opener here for Lopez. I mean, he did miss it in a very lengthy history of competition. He's been mostly a 77. This is the first time that we're seeing Bastian Lopez on a major stage in the 85 kilo category. Last year in Cartagena, he was a 77. He snatched 136. In all of his prior competitions, the best I could tell, it looks like he did 141 at the Rio test event in Brazil back in April of last year. So even though he missed this 145 opener, it looks like he is responding nicely to the increase in body weight. 145 kilo opening attempt is a pretty big step for him.
It didn't look out of the realm of his abilities, JP. I mean, losing it behind is generally an indication you can get the barbell where it needs to be, sometimes a little too much so. And this will bring out Lopez for his second attempt. That might be the pithiest weightlifting observation I'll have all week.
Last one in front.
All right, let's take a look at that one from the side. I'm curious if he overcompensated here.
It's a common error you see in weightlifting. After a miss in front, you try to be precise. You want to get it into the right spot. So yeah, as you're...
That one, it didn't look a lot different from his first. Just kind of ended up in the wrong place out front there. So we'll see if he moves up to get a little extra rest here.
He would have to go to 147 in order to get that rest. Angel Luna is currently looking for that for his, actually 46 right now.
Right. Wellison
Rosa.
Yeah.
You could do it. It's a 2-minute clock. You wouldn't have that big of a rest. I mean, it is likely that Hossa will take that 46. It's a 6-kilo jump, so that probably is a real number. But after missing twice, once in front, once in back, all you're doing is adding risk to what is already a very tough situation to be in.
Certainly, and I think he is going to be taking this. You can see one of the coaches from Chile fanning him in the back in the ready area, and yeah, he will be taking this.
Another interesting point to mention here for Lopez, he has been to multiple world championships, multiple Pan Am championships. He has been to, Caribbean championships. There is a ton of experience here. Not only has he never missed an opener until today, he has never bombed out in a major competition. Let's see if he can prevent that from happening on this third attempt at 145 kilos. Uh-oh.
And unfortunately, that is a no lift for Bastian Lopez. He is unsuccessful with all of his snatch attempts today. He still has the opportunity to come out and attempt clean and jerks, but that is a big hit to the points scoring for the Chilean men's team.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we will bring back Wellison Hossa of Brazil. He opened with 140 kilos on his first attempt. He was successful. Two-time Olympian.
And this is...
I think this will be a personal best for him.
I don't see heavier.
He attempted 146 on his third. Last year in Cartagena was not successful. He's done 145 on a few occasions. I don't see that he's ever made 46 before. Until now.
All right, well, he is an athlete we've never seen at, well, we have seen him at the 85 kilogram weight before, but clearly looking strong, and that is a PR.
Personal best, and he does have another attempt. And for now, it looks like we'll call on Luna, of Venezuela.
Just a reminder, this competition does open the qualification period for the 2019 Pan American Games. So the countries here in the Pan American Federation out in full force to score points that will go toward qualification for that competition.
This is Luna's first Pan Am Championships. Wow.
With authority, really no doubt there.
This is interesting. Interesting reaction. I think he might have been worried he didn't get a down signal. But I mean, he crushes this. After you see he paused and looked back at the refs.
Wait, did I get the down?
Wait a minute, did I make a mistake? But boy, that was convincing on that opener with 47.
I agree with that. Now, automatic increase for Luna. I don't think we're going to see him take 148. I think we're going to see him go up a little bit at least.
I'd be shocked if he went to 58 after that. All right, Angel Luna is going to be called right now.
And a real question for me, JP, as a bit of a weightlifting nerd, is in this session, will we see a heavier snatch than we saw in the 77 kilo category? I'm not sure. The answer is maybe.
The answer for me is maybe.
Last night we did see Jason Lopez, the 18-year-old lifter from Colombia, break his own senior Pan American snatch record with 162 kilos. And I have to say, this could be one of those relatively rare situations in international competition where the weight class down goes heavier in one of the disciplines than the weight class above it.
Rare when you usually have a special lifter involved in the story, and in this case we do in the name of Jason Lopez. So it is possible. What we do have in this 85 kilo category is an absolutely packed tight group. The 6 lifters who have yet to open at the moment, all of them are listed at 150. So even if we don't surpass what Jason Lopez did yesterday, we will absolutely see a tough competition here that can go to any number of the 9 lifters on this stage or on this board. So right now, here's Joseph Ferreira, 150 kilos.
Oh, what a fight. And that, as JP, as we'll watch it again from the side here, as you said yesterday, this is an eternity in weightlifting times.
He moves under this perfectly, and then just you see his toes come up, which means his weight was going back on his heels.
I counted
couldn't break it up.
Nearly 5 seconds in the bottom of that snatch.
Oh.
All right, and this will bring up the first attempt for Olfides Saez, who's up 5 kilos on his listed opener, the athlete from Cuba.
This is 150 kilos. He made 150 on his second attempt last year in Cartagena. That was good for 5th place. Beautiful opener.
Very quick under the barbell.
He has made 150 on a couple of occasions. I don't see that he's made more, but he has 2 cracks and making an impact in this meet. And now
we have his teammate, Yolnis Hernandez of Cuba, attempting the same weight.
2-time Olympian, defending Pan Am champion, multi-time world team member, arguably the best lifter on the Cuban men's team, Yolmis Hernandez. You have to think he's going to be one of the favorites to win this thing, and he's out pretty early here with this 150 kilo opener. Unbelievable.
I want to see that again from the front, actually. Look how wide his feet end up. The hip mobility it takes to get in this position right there.
And we've seen him for a long time. He has always had that style. I mean, that is something of a trademark of Yolmis, and it's unbelievable the height at which he catches the bar. It's just incredible.
I mean, it clearly, we're not criticizing, by the way, when we point that out. We're just a bit in awe. Not a lot of people can lift like that, but he does it at an incredibly high level. And with that, okay, we do have a change. This will be Kedem Valenila of Venezuela.
Kedem,
there you go.
He is one of 2 juniors in this group. He is toward the top of the start list, and he is also the current junior Pan Am champion. He snatched 155 kilos in January at the Junior Pan Ams.
All right, that will be a great looking opener for Valenila.
Wow.
Not a lot to say about that one, JP.
Happened quickly, happened easily. Yeesh.
All right, this will bring out Ferreira for his second attempt. Looked very, he did not make his opener, that's correct. Apologies.
He had that crazy fight in the bottom, and you could have finished that sentence of saying he looked very strong with his opener. He did. See if he could put this away without balance being a problem. Well, that's 2. Again, went up easy, goes up fast. I mean, he is certainly quick underneath.
Not able to secure it overhead. Well, he will have one more attempt. 2 minutes on the clock for Ferreira of Brazil, and he will be following himself here, it looks like.
So lifters have been moving up quietly. A couple who were slated at 150 have opened with 150. 155 of Jonathan Rivas of Colombia now looks to be the biggest opener for anyone. Hior Marino, also of Colombia, has yet to open, and that's an interesting story even once again with the Colombian dominance. They are looking to be 1-2 in yet another weight class.
It's how they started off the week, and they are continuing that through their dominance of the weight classes through really the 85 kilo classes.
Now that we're in the 85 kilo category, yeah, I think this is the last 2. These are the last 2 remaining Colombian lifters in the men's weight classes.
We're just verifying that real quick, but I think that's correct.
No, they have a super.
Okay.
All right, so now here is Ferreira. 150 kilos, third attempt. Must make this. And he does.
For a second there, I thought that might go the way of his opening attempt, and we'll check it out from the side here. He does have a bit of a fight at the bottom. Not nearly as prolonged, and with that, he will get on the board, which is crucial in this incredibly tightly packed men's 85 kilogram A session.
But those 2 misses at 150 on his first 2 attempts could be very costly in the chase for a medal.
They will most likely, almost assuredly, put him out of the chase for a snatch medal.
Right. He's going to need a big clean and jerk by the time this is over. Although your question originally was, will this group of lifters get north of 160? And there is a possibility. I'm thinking now, yes. But let's go back to Wellison Rosa. This will be a personal best, 151 kilos, third attempt. Oh. No.
Oh my goodness. Well,
he made the lift. You must.
Let's take another look at this. His shoulder started collapsing on him, it looks like. Let's see from the front and also from the side.
We might
here
see it both
fine.
sides.
Yeah.
We might have time for both. Right there, great adjustment.
And he just can't. Oh,
right when the down signal was going to come. All right, so now here is Hior Marino of Colombia, 153 kilos.
And he is one of 2 lifters who have yet to open today, both Colombians.
Marino entered with a 350 originally on this start list, which was amongst the top. See that he's ever made it before. But he made that, wow.
And continuing the string of strong Colombian performances, making lifts, not only making lifts, but making lifts with authority.
Yeah, we're almost getting spoiled. You're watching how easily 150, 150 plus is moving around attempt after attempt. I mean, this is unbelievable lifting. Should note, with that said, the men's record, Pan Am record, in the 85 kilo category, 169 kilos. Wow. That was done by Yadiel Valadares of Cuba at the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. We should mention, though, 160 kilos is the junior Pan Am record. And now that I think about it, with the way that the two juniors who are here are lifting, I think it is very possible that we could see a 161.
All right,
so
well,
let's keep an eye on that.
This will bring up Angel Luna of Venezuela. Second attempt, 154 kilograms, taking a pretty full 7-kilo jump up here. I think he's got a great shot at this as long as he waits for the down signal.
Oh. All right, he's officially a threat in this competition.
Not a lifter we've seen a lot of before. In fact, the heaviest we'd ever seen him go before today in competition was back in last year, 145 kilos. He is well above that right now and seems comfortable in the mid-150s. So curious to see what he'll take for his next snatch attempt. That didn't look much harder, if any more difficult at all, than his first
47.
attempt.
All right, so now it looks like Kedamar Vallanilla of Venezuela is moving up.
So we do have a change, in this could bring out the opening attempt of Jonathan Rivas of Colombia.
Now, Rivas is a junior. We have 155 kilos on the bar. 161 is the record. This is his opener at 55.
160 would set a new record.
161 would set a new record, right. 160 is the record, junior record. So if this starts off well,
we could see a new junior Pan American record in the snatch for the 85-kilo men.
He tried 160 just a month ago in Tokyo at the Junior Worlds. He placed 4th overall. So you are looking at one of the very best junior lifters in the world.
There are a few of those in Colombia, I hear.
There's a few of them in Miami this week.
Oh. Well, misses that behind and seems a bit disappointed. Let's check it out from the side on the replay here.
Unique technique. That very, very wide grip, collar to collar, and he starts with a very low hip position, and he actually maintains that as he takes the bar off the ground.
He does.
Very different. All right, so now here's Olfides Saez, Cuba, 155 kilos, second attempt.
Saez was successful at 150. He's taken a nice, fairly standard 5-kilo jump here.
Oh. All right, so as we've mentioned, in this group of 9, 7 of them are very much in contention for medals.
Well, he will still have one more attempt, and that will bring up Yolmis Hernandez of Cuba.
Our defending champion.
He is also taking a 5-kilo jump.
Where I was going with that, as the door is open here in this class for the medals, some costly misses are keeping everybody else in contention. So Hernandez can put himself in the lead with this 155 kilos if successful here on his second attempt.
Even better than his first. Incredible speed. I'd like to see this again from the front, if possible.
I'd like to see it again. It just happened too quickly.
Well, showing why he is the defending champion, and though we have a packed session, he is a man to beat. And with that, we will bring up Jonathan Rivas of Colombia, his second attempt. He was unsuccessful with 155 on his opener. He is a junior lifter from Colombia, 4th in the world at the Tokyo Junior World Championships earlier this year. So not the first time we're seeing him on the international stage in 2017.
Yep, 7th in Tbilisi. He has been to 2 Junior Worlds. He's a junior Pan Am champion. 2016. Correction made. Good lift. And I keep watching attempt after attempt, and I just can't believe how easily we're seeing 150, 155 being thrown around.
Great looking lift there. You know, JP, it's it's easy to say, and I might have predicted that I would get desensitized to these fantastic lifts at international competition. This being the largest competition as far as talent representation that I've ever color commentated, but I'm still just slack-jawed at some of these lifts.
Okay, so now we are bringing back Alfides Saez of Cuba, 155 on the bar. This will put him into third if he makes it.
He missed his second attempt at this weight forward, was not able to really ever get in a secure position with his elbows locked out, so let's see if he has more success here.
Indeed he does. Good lift for Alfides Saez, and wow.
I mean,
we still have 7 attempts in this session.
So with that, Saez moves into third place in the snatch. However, you have to think that's going to change pretty soon. And any made lift now from any of the remaining lifters, of which we have 5, will knock him out of medal contention for the snatch.
But what will be interesting when this thing ends is let's see what the spread is from the gold medal to, say, 7th place.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be less than 5 kilos.
It's going to be tiny.
All right, so now here's Valiania of Venezuela. Second attempt. This will move him into the lead.
6 kilos up on his opener.
Oh, another one. Crushed it.
He knows it. The crowd knows it. Check out this snatch from the side. Holy cow.
That's a full commitment on that pull. What pulling power. All right, you see here on the board, we're getting down toward the end of this, and it is wide open. Anybody can win. Hernandez is being introduced on a 1 kilo increase. He will not take 156. The changes are going in now. There are actually 3 coaches writing at once right now on the at the marshals table, so there's going to be a lot of movement here. Okay, so your Moreno is going to be the lifter at 157 kilos. This is his second attempt. Moreno made 153 on his opener.
Explosivo. Y termina ese jalón. Levante la cabeza, muy pegado. Elévese y aprieta.
Wow.
Good. 3 white lights. I saw a little flicker of the elbow on the right side.
Look at how
thankfully it wasn't enough to draw the attention of the referees.
Look at how deep he gets into this catch position.
And the weight wanted to go back. He stopped it. It's just amazing. All right.
This will bring up Angel Luna. Third and final attempt, 157 kilograms. Unless, okay, we do have a change.
157 on Hernandez. He has made 1 change. I think he's going to make another one. I don't see him coming out on a 2 kilo increment. That would only move him into second.
Right. So we do have some jockeying for position here. There are 5 lifters left in the session. You have to imagine they've all got their sights set on a medal.
This is now a 1 more kilo than you game.
Yep.
And to speak about what you were mentioning earlier with the idea, will we get ahead of what we saw Jason Lopez do at 162? The ability is there. How about this? The ability is there. I don't think there's any doubt that all 5 of these remaining lifters can snatch 150 or more. But because of the competition and the way it's shaking out right now, the progression may not allow any of these lifters to get to that kind of
That's
a weight.
correct, yeah. It's really, I mean, you have to imagine that the podium's going to be separated by a couple of kilos.
It might even be a tie.
Yeah. Now with the elimination of the bodyweight rule, which we saw last year, it is about who lifts it first now.
That's correct.
If 2 lifters have the same weight at successful attempts.
So Angel Luna is the lifter. A lifter has not yet made 158, which means he is the first to take it, and if he is the first to make it, he will be the leader. Oh.
And, you know, his first 2 attempts looked incredibly strong. That one, going behind him, let's check it out on the replay here.
Stayed with that pull a little long, maybe.
Yeah. All right, so he will remain in 6th place.
Unbelievable.
In the
First
snatch.
to 6th. 1 miss. That's what that swing is. And now Yoelmis Hernandez, who is currently sitting in 3rd with his 155, has taken a 3 kilo jump to 158 kilos. This will put him into the lead. And with 4 lifters remaining, it does not guarantee a medal in the snatch, if successful.
The 4th to last attempt in this session. All of these lifts, huge implications for the snatch medal standings.
He has done as much as 164. And at 158, just a walk in the park.
Well, he is your current leader in the snatch, going 3 for 3, but we have 3 lifts remaining.
Kind of a conservative approach if you think about it, but a smart one. And we will see now if this 158 kilo snatch by Yoelmis will hold up.
Well, we saw that yesterday in the women's 69 kilogram session, JP. We saw Maddie Rogers come out for what, after missing an opener, making her second at 95, coming out for 100. We saw some people were saying that was a bit of a conservative take for her, but she made it, and with a few misses from lifters who went after her, she ended up securing a silver medal. So
right, and that's a great point, and similar to the spot where you see on the board where Yoelmis Hernandez is, she was toward the top of the list, meaning she had a lower start number, which means that she did not have the advantage of changing around and messing with the weights too much. She had to take something first, and that was what the play was for Hernandez here, and now the deal is basically come beat me. 158 is done. If you can do more, you know, go for it, is really the approach. And we're having a little bit of confusion here. They've run the clock down to 0 on Rivas at 158. He wanted a change, and they're at the table arguing, and I see the marshals coming up. It looks like they tried to put a change in that was not accepted.
So
ignore this red light on Rivas. I think we're going to have an update.
Okay.
Okay.
There is a technical timeout. And what JP was referring to there is we actually have a pretty good view of the marshals table. And
there was some frantic conversation there as that clock was running.
We have a good view of coaches who manually have to write down to request changes, and they have to have written the request before 30 seconds are with more than 30 seconds on the clock, basically.
As long as you're in the act of writing prior to 30 seconds, if you sign off like as it passes through 29, they should give it to you.
Okay.
Which I do think happened here. So what it looks like is a change that was put in was not registered in the system for who was it? Rivas. So right now on the system it looks like Rivas has missed his 3rd attempt, but in reality they're going to have to undo that, give him a 3rd attempt back. On screen we're seeing 159 for Yor Moreno, but I think it's going to be 159 for Jonathan Rivas. That's what is happening now in discussion in this tech stop, unless we all missed something and a lifter was accidentally called out of order, but I don't believe that was the case. So they're talking through what needs to happen, and there's the explanation. Rivas called for 159. It did not get entered into the system correctly, or the system just missed, whatever. But it looks like they're going to switch it back.
So he will actually be given this attempt, though the scoreboard for a bit indicated.
So they have rolled it. They have rolled it back. He has not been announced yet, but it will be Jonathan Rivas. 159 kilos. They're going to make sure that the jury is okay with this. The TC is explaining to the jury that the marshal has accepted that change and that it should have gone in. It's all of this that's going on, and it is creating this delay. And you have to wonder what Bastian Lopez or what Moreno and Ketamar Valiania, who are sitting back on the final attempts. You know what I mean? This cools you off a little bit longer than you might have expected. And by the way, Valiania is in at 160.
All right, it looks like there is some more discussion. And it looks like they might have been told that that
is no lift.
Yeah. All right, I have a continued pause here. But it looks like
another marshal is coming out to speak with the jury, and I think the marshal is pleading the case of Rivas.
And this is a bit of a certainly an extra challenge for the lifters, a bit of a tempo stop. With only 3 lifts remaining, well, what we thought were 3 lifts remaining in the session. There might truly only be 2 lifts.
Now, if they don't give Rivas the attempt here, that means Yoelmas Hernandez will be at least a bronze medalist. If they do give him the lift, if they do give him the opportunity to take it, yeah, you're talking about this being a sort of a shutdown of action, right? What does that do to Rivas? He's been standing in the doorway for a while. They sat him back down now, but
not only just standing in the doorway, but he does look confused. I know that we do have some potential translation concerns as well, obviously. We do have bilingual announcing, but I don't think that actually played a factor here.
Nope. Members of the jury, 3-team jury. President is David Monteiro of Brazil.
Yeah.
Roger Sadecki of the United States and Jocelyn Moe of Canada are the jury. A very well-known group, very experienced Category 1 crew.
So let's see what they have to say. We will hear it from the announcer here shortly.
On the clock right now is a 1 minute, 159 kilo third attempt for Jonathan Rivas, and the clock is running.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to see
and guys, you got to stop the clock.
That was
20 seconds just ticked off without him being announced. Loaders are on the clock, and the clock has been running. Sorry, loaders are on the bar. Ugh. All right. Here's Rivas. After all of that, he will be granted the attempt. Oh, they had to bring it back to 30 seconds, I think. That's where the change went in. Okay. Rivas, third attempt, 159 for the lead.
15 seconds on the clock.
Unbelievable.
With what that young man just went through, 3 white lights, that takes him from 4th where we thought he might have lost an attempt. Puts him into first place with 2 lifts to go.
Guaranteeing him a medal.
And currently your leader with 2 lifts left to go, 1 from Moreno and 1 from Vallanea.
The fortitude to make that.
And not only was he not staying warm and not moving much during that period, but he was confused. I mean, it was unclear whether he was going to be able to go out there.
Exactly. I mean, the fortitude to stick through that situation, that is a great job in every way.
He might be a junior lifter, but that is another level of maturity
Agreed.
And gamesmanship. Wow.
So now,
Ketamar Vallanea of Venezuela.
160 kilos.
He is currently sitting in 4th. This would guarantee him at least a silver medal if he were to make this lift.
So if successful, he will move into the lead with 160. If he misses, Moreno will take this 160. If he makes it, Moreno will be forced to take 61 if he wants gold. Oh. All right, no lift for Vallanea of Venezuela. That means he will finish 4th in the snatch competition. And that also means we are down to our final attempt, and the weight will remain at 160 for Colombia's Yor Moreno.
Now he is in 3rd position. He is guaranteed a medal here. This would take him from 3rd into 1st. Now his teammate Jonathan Rivas is currently in 1st place in the snatch. So huge implications here. This is for gold. And there you have it, a clutch lift, and that means your gold medalist in the snatch for the men's 85 kilogram session is Yor Moreno of Colombia. His teammate, Jonathan Rivas, is in 2nd place, and check out this replay here.
Gold medal lift. Unbelievable competition. And as we were talking about, from 1st to 6th place, we have a separation of just 6 kilos.
That is intense, certainly. Folks, thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to be back in 10 minutes for the clean and jerk portion of this men's 85 kilogram A session. Until then, I'm David Tao, joined by
JP Nicoletta.
Don't go anywhere.
All you can say. So our 10-minute clock has expired. We're ready to begin lifting, and Wellison Rosa of Brazil is the lifter, 175 kilos.
And with this lift, he would eclipse the heaviest clean and jerk made during the B group yesterday.
172 kilos.
That's correct.
Alexander Hernandez of Puerto Rico did that. Here is 175 kilos for Rosa.
Solid looking opener for Rosa of Brazil. 3 white lights. Great start to the clean and jerk portion of this session. Now, JP, we've seen with a few of the sessions this week some slower starts. We have seen a few of the A and B sessions were consolidated just prior to the release of the final schedule. We see the replay right here of Rosa's lift. This session moving pretty quickly along.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, because they're so tightly grouped together. you know. All right, so now here's Ferreira of Brazil. First attempt, 176 kilos. He was 7th in the snatch based on a 150 third attempt success. All right, good lift there for Ferreira. By majority decision. He opened with 170 a year ago in Cartagena, took a 10-kilo jump, then went on to make 180 kilos. I think we'll see him north of that for his second attempt here.
All right, and automatic increase for Ferreira. I don't think we're going to
solid jerk.
Take one.
Just a great opener. Yeah, what would you need for a rest here? Next lift would be 180, and he did go to 184.
Yeah, so a pretty sizable jump there. But that means the lifter will become Alcides Saez of Cuba.
8-kilo jump for Ferreira.
And
it might be a little while before we see him.
Just to illustrate how closely packed these lifters are in ability and numbers during the snatch portion, first and 6th place were separated by a total of 6 kilograms. That is about as tight as you'll get in weightlifting. Now, obviously, the elimination of the body weight rule might have something to do with that. You have to hit a weight first or beat your opponent's weight
by 1 kilo, outright.
Yeah, there is no who weighs less in the event of a tie. All right, Wellison Rosa of Brazil, this is his second attempt, 182, so already moving up pretty quickly here.
Oh. 7-kilo jump, good lift for Wellison Rosa of Brazil.
Let's watch that clean again. I actually love his clean technique here, JP.
Rebounds.
It's aggressive.
Gets a great bounce out of that bottom. Everything about that.
This, obviously, an international competition, the premier competition for the Pan American Federation. Some fantastic technicians all week. This weight class is no exception. Bastian Lopez, lifter from Chile, will be opening at 184 kilograms. Now, Lopez was the only lifter in this session to bomb out in the snatch. Still has the opportunity to come score some points here for Team Chile in the clean and jerk, and may still even be in the running for a medal here in the clean and jerk.
You never know. We'll see how it shakes out. 184 kilos is a pretty healthy opener. Bastian is a very experienced lifter.
All right, no problem for Lopez. 3 white lights.
It's a very interesting style. You see his hip explosion and elbow whip just
leans way back there.
Yeah.
If you could take a screenshot of that moment right there.
Almost like a slingshot. And I don't see that he really comes up on his heels at all. And then the jerk technique is excellent.
You know, I know a few weightlifting coaches who might have something to say about that, but it clearly works for him. And this will bring up Alcides Saez of Cuba, opening at 185 kilograms. So pretty rapid pace to start this session, and 4 made lifts so far. Let's see if Saez can keep that trend. And the lifters we see now, we might not see for a bit with all these tightly packed attempts and openers.
Yeah. Saez in 5th after the snatch competition, made 155 on his 3rd. Oh, wait, going back. It's crazy. This is crazy.
Let's see that jerk again from the front. A tough clean. It came back on him, and he actually had to step backwards with that barbell, and standing up while moving back with that kind of weight on your shoulders. Not easy, but no issue, because check out this jerk. Bam, right there.
Love it. If this is how we're starting, I can't even think about how we're going to finish this. All right, right now, Rivas, who was the silver medalist in the snatch with his dramatic 159, after the weight and discussion and debate over whether or not his team made the change in time. Looks like they did make a change in time here. He has moved up.
All right, so this
that will bring out Josu Ferreira.
All right, Ferreira made his opener at 175 kilograms, so this is a pretty hefty 10-kilo jump here. Apologies, 176. This is a 9-kilo jump.
Oh. Well, that clean was work, no question about it.
And he really paused much longer. We can see on the replay here, much longer than his first attempt after the clean portion.
Hips come up a little bit.
Yeah.
And just, that's a grinder.
And he really does take his time here, and that is very taxing on the core musculature holding that weight.
It's amazing that I've seen some lifters who could just stand there forever. I don't know how they do it. But Ferreira does have another attempt. Looks like he is on a 1-minute clock for 185 kilos, and that is the first miss of the clean and jerk competition. We're taking a look at the scoreboard on screen, and this is going to come down to, David, every missed lift could potentially cost you a place. I mean, it's...
Well, there's added pressure in this session because the lifters are so tightly packed, but in addition to that, you have to think the coaches are obviously thinking about medals, about the lifters' placements, but they don't want any bomb outs,
right?
And they don't want to go, they don't want to go too aggressive on openers, especially because this is scoring points for Pan American Games qualification.
Which is your danger on bomb outs and playing too big of a gamble to open heavy to get into the game on placement, but at the same time you open too light and you see how things shake out, and that's when you want to ram your head into a wall. You think, oh man, if we would have just opened 2 kilos.
It's just, we are seeing a battle for medals here in placement in this session, but the coaches and federation administrators are seeing something else as well.
They're seeing the points. So this is interesting now in terms of the bigger picture. Our silver medalist in the snatch with 159 is the first to open of the major players toward the front of the field. Rivas right now is being called on 187. The clock is running. He does have another change, but he is going to come out and take this.
I think, it's these lifters are so tightly packed. While we can see the medalists from the snatch portion and call them the early favorites here,
no, not necessarily. Exactly,
it's anyone's
not
game.
necessarily.
It's anyone's game.
5 kilos. Our point is that 5 kilos can be caught. So here we go. Here's Rivas' first attempt, 187.
Wow, Rivas with a deep power jerk. Let's watch that again from the side. I mean, the clean was, again, that low starting hip position, JP.
Yeah.
And then Watch this as he punches himself under the barbell.
It's great technique for a power jerk. That's how it's done. And I'll tell you what, with that lift, 346 is the opening mark, if you will. I mean, from this point forward, that's the number that the rest of the field is going to have to chase, because Rivas just got that one done. We'll see. If you think about who's got an opportunity, it's basically anybody who is in the first 6 places. I mean, I think anybody who snatched north of 150 is probably in the running here.
This is the 48 kilo session that opened the weekend was a pretty tight race. This might be even tighter. It is going to come down to, as in the last portion, the snatch portion, it's going to come down to the last few lifts before we even know who's going to be potentially on the podium here.
All right, so now here's a bit of a gamble. Ferreira, who missed 185 on his second attempt, has elected to take a 3 kilo jump.
Now this is 12 kilos up on his opener. The clean was a bit of a challenge for him, and he was not able to complete the jerk. So the question here is, can he get an easier clean to have a little more energy for the jerk portion of the lift? The lifter from Brazil.
So that means he'll be credited with his opener and finish the day with a 326 kilo total. That was a risk, but not to be for Ferreira.
And on any other day, you could see him potentially on the medal stand here. That's how close this group is. He was only successful on his 3rd attempt in the snatch, so if a couple more things had gone his way, but that he is our first lifter who has taken all 3 attempts, and that looks like it'll bring out Angel Luna of Venezuela for his first attempt. He finished 6th in the snatch, but that is a little misleading to say, because for a while we were thinking he had a chance at snatch gold there.
And don't forget, he absolutely crushed his opening snatch with 147. Let's see if he can handle this opening weight in the clean and jerk of 189 kilos with the same type of authority. Uh-oh. No lift by majority decision.
He knew that too. You could tell from his face. Let's see that again from the front.
Now, the way he stands up with this is almost unbelievable.
He's got strong legs. I think we can say that. Same with his snatches. I mean, he even after pausing at the bottom.
Not even work, but right there, that little movement, that little, almost it seems like a wedge type thing where he just slightly bent and rebent his elbows.
Well, Sanchez, a lifter, it almost looks like he has pistons in his legs. It's just like, it's insane. All right, this will bring up
Ketamar
Vallanilla.
189 kilos will remain the weight. If successful here, it will move him into the lead in the clean and jerk. We will be saying that a lot. This is his first attempt. Will not be enough to get him ahead of Rivas, currently sitting on 342. Nice start.
All right, he's on the board, 189. He was 4th place after the snatch, but currently first in the clean and jerk, currently 2nd overall. That is likely to change as Angel Luna, his teammate, coming up with 189. And strength is no issue here for Luna. As far as leg strength, it seems to be stability and lockout on the jerk.
I think Luna's going to move up. I wouldn't expect to see him come out.
No, I think he is.
Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. He missed this. You're right. 189, he does have to make this. secure a total. What I will say is if he does make it, expect a big jump. I think he'll sit in the back and do something pretty interesting to make a play. All right, so now Angel Luna in what I think is a pivotal spot for him. He does not want to be in position in do or die, you know, make one to total kind of a situation, because it will take him out of the medal hope. So 189 second attempt. Angel Luna of Venezuela. Made the correction he needed. Another majority decision, but this one went in his favor.
You know, it was a similar issue, and we'll see it again. Let's watch it from the side here. A similar wobble, but maybe less pronounced.
Yeah.
That clean is like nothing. It's like an empty barbell.
Very aggressive into that split. Glad the lift went his way. He now is on the board with a 343 kilo total. Like we said, I apologize earlier, I misspoke. 346 is the line in the sand that the others are going to try to get over. Now we'll bring back Bastian Lopez of Chile, and we are already at 190. We have yet to see Yoelmis Hernandez or Yor Moreno.
Sit behind.
Great timing on that clean.
So it has been a challenging day for Lopez.
Watch here that distinct. Oh, he does go up on his toes, but it's so fast. Split was nice. He just couldn't get the arms to full extension. He does have another attempt. He'll be back in the meantime. 190 kilos, second attempt, Alfedes Saez of Cuba. If he's successful, this will move him into third. Total.
We're going to have to watch that one again from the side. Like his first attempt, has to walk a little bit with the barbell, but that jerk is
vicious.
He even loses his thoracic spine a little bit there, but if he can get that up, that jerk is no issue. All right, this will bring us to Wellison Rosa, his third and final attempt in the clean and jerk. He was successful with his first two. He opened with 175.
Took 182. Here he is with 190.
And he needs this to stay in the running for any medals.
No, too much.
And
took a risk. Why not?
Gives a wave there. Gives a wave to the crowd. Just what can you do? I mean, the session asked a lot of him there. 15 kilos up on his opener. That's
something you don't see.
No.
Yeah, usually 10 kilos is what you, or something within 10 kilos is often what you expect to see. It does shift around a little bit as you get into the heavier weight classes, but at least in terms of counting,
right?
You know, when you're looking at somebody's progression, it does catch your eye when somebody goes beyond that 10 kilo from opener.
Certainly.
All right, so now Bastian Lopez is back.
He has only made one attempt so far on the day, so this is to. This would move him into first for the clean and jerk, and give him a chance at getting some medal today.
He's got to get his feet in alignment. Oh, yeah.
Wow, way to come back and nail it.
He missed 190 on his second attempt, and by majority decision, he is successful with 1 kilo more. 191 kilos.
A great lift there for Bastian Lopez. We'll see on the replay here. And he had to work for this one, JP.
Oh, but look how he steps through on that.
Bring those feet in line, just gets a down signal. All right, and with that, we have your Moreno of Colombia. He is your Snatch gold medalist. All 3 attempts made in the Snatch.
And this will set a new mark for others to chase. If he's successful, this will give him a 352 kilo total and move him into the lead. Popping out the
Wide.
hands.
Yep.
One hand. Did both go?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
All right. 3 white lights. That'll be a good lift for your Moreno of Colombia. And we'll watch again on the replay here. He has that, it's almost characteristic of some South American lifters. A wide regrip. You can see his elbows flare. And with that, we will see the second attempt for Jonathan Rivas, also of Colombia. Now, Rivas does not use the split jerk technique. He uses a power jerk, so we'll be interested to see here how deep he maybe has to go into that receiving position. 192.
Yoelmis Hernandez, by the way, must open with 195 if he wants to move ahead of your Moreno. Rivas, if successful here with this 92, will not move back ahead of Moreno. It will put him second behind him.
All right, that'll be a no lift for Rivas.
Not sure if he's feeling it. You see his body language coming off. I don't know if he's going to have much of an option other than to take this 192 again. It's going to be a 2-minute clock for Jonathan Rivas on his third attempt. If successful, this will give him a 351 kilo total, which will move him within a kilo of Moreno, who we see here on the scoreboard, who has that 352. So this is what we were talking about, how things will shape up. There is only one lifter yet to open. That lifter is Yoelmis Hernandez, our defending champion. And as mentioned, 195 is the weight that he would need to move ahead of Moreno. The only reason he may not take it is if he quietly has made 2 changes already.
Right.
We see that 194 is on the board now. It was not when this session started. So keep an eye on how that plays out with Hernandez when we get to him. The others that still have a shot at this are Arcadamar Veania. That's the other one that I would keep an eye on. Also Angel Luna. Right now, it looks like Rivas has decided to go up 1 kilo, so that will put Saez on the bar. Saez 2 for 2 thus far He's made 85 and 90.
And just like with his first 2 attempts, not an easy clean certainly, but no question on the jerk. So he will move into 2nd overall, 1st in the clean and jerk. Let's watch the replay here.
348 kilo total.
Watch this jerk. Bam!
This is great. Rhythm, the speed, the explosiveness of it.
You'd be hard pressed to find any lifter, even at the elite level, who doesn't envy
that type of movement.
That type of movement, exactly.
Okay, so now Rivas in an interesting spot. He was the silver medalist in the snatch, and he's taking another gamble. He's going to move up, and now Yoelmis Hernandez has been called at 194, and it looks like he will take it. My suspicion is the reason he's taking this is because he has made 2 changes to get him to the 194.
Yeah, and again, another consideration too, bomb outs are especially painful if you get too aggressive on your openers in this competition, because you lose 2/3 of your point scoring potential.
But Hernandez is an experienced lifter, 2-time Olympian. He has done well over 200 kilos in the past. Here he is opening with 194.
And showing there why he's one of the best, certainly in this hemisphere, maybe in the world. Yoelmis Hernandez, a solid-looking opener at 194 kilograms.
I mean, you see something this easy, David, and you want to go check the bar to see if it's loaded right.
We can verify that after. I'll maybe try and do a deadlift.
Keep saying it, I'm sorry. Look at this. All right, so now, Valiania, 194 kilos. Remember, Kadamar is a junior, and this will be a new junior Pan Am record in the clean and jerk. If he's successful, the current record of 193 kilos was set in 2000 by Cuban lifter Yoel Sotolongo. This is a very long-standing record, 17-year-old record that's about to go down here on this attempt.
Well,
so close.
He will have another shot at a new junior Pan American clean and jerk record, but that is a no lift for Kadamar Vaiania.
Now let's see if Luna burns his 2-minute clock.
All right, here's the replay. And that leg strength is just absurd.
Good word. Oh, just.
Both Venezuelan lifters in this session, just absurd leg strength.
Yeah. Now Luna has been called with 194. He is going to take it. If he makes this, this will give him a 348 kilo total, which will move him into 4th. Costly miss on his 3rd attempt snatch. Looks like it will leave him with no opportunity for a medal in the total.
Has to fight for it. 2-1-4.
That is a max effort.
Let's watch that from the front again.
Watch how he dips. There's a pause in the dip on the jerk.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was getting crushed under it.
Yeah, the clean, again, your word of absurd leg strength holds true. But watch how he dips and almost pauses right there. And that's a full commitment. That left arm was a little shaky. It did draw one red light, but ultimately it's a good lift by majority decision. Wow.
All right, we only have... Oh, just to point out, it looks like Jonathan Rivas has declined to take his third attempt.
Rivas is out of the competition.
He looks like he was pointing to something in his wrist or arm that was maybe bothering him, so he is out of the competition. He was your silver medalist in the snatch. He is no longer in contention for clean and jerk or total medal here.
Overall, think about it, silver in the snatch. He's in jeopardy here of dropping to, what, 6th overall. All right, so now Valyania missed 194. He has moved up to 195. We only have 3 lifters left. If he's successful here, this will, I believe, secure at least a bronze medal for him. And it will break the junior Pan Am record. This was a new, this is a Pan Am record attempt, junior. Wow.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is a new junior Pan American clean and jerk record, breaking a 17-year-old record, one of the longest standing records in the Pan American Federation. Check out the replay here. He missed this on his 2nd attempt.
He missed 1 kilo less.
Well, it's correct. Apologies.
That is a great moment in this competition. And with that, he moves into the lead for the moment, or excuse me, into 2nd. And now we have your Moreno. 2nd attempt, 196 kilos. He made 192 on his opener, and this will put him back into the lead. Again.
All right, and Moreno regains the lead.
So we have 3 lifters left. They are guaranteed to be our medalists. We just don't know what color they will be, those medals. And Moreno on this 2nd attempt, excuse me, 3rd attempt. Great lift there with 96. So 199 is the call for Yoelmis Hernandez of Cuba. This will put him back into the lead.
Now, Hernandez
has a 352.
And he has made all of his lifts so far today, much like Moreno.
This is a 5 kilo jump. This will move him up to 357, which is 1 kilo more than Moreno's 356. So this could very well be a gold medal lift with just 3 attempts left.
All right, that's a fantastic looking 2nd attempt from Yoelmis Hernandez. We're going to go to the replay of this lift, but we only have 2 attempts left in this competition, folks. Reminder, this is the 85 kilogram A session. Right now we see the replay of this most recent lift by Yoelmis Hernandez of Cuba. Just 2 more lifts left in this session.
You see something that good, and you wonder if there's any way. I mean, that could almost get into your head if you're Moreno, to see Yoelmis just crush a weight like that. And it makes you think that whatever he needs, he's going to take, period. And it might only be 1 kilo, it might be 2, it might be none.
We've seen him go north of 200 kilograms in international competition before.
210.
Wow. Which would match the Pan American record. I don't think we're going to see that today. This is the second to last attempt and the final lift of the day for Yor Moreno of Colombia. He is 5 for 5 on the day. This 200 kilogram clean and jerk would put him back into first place.
With a 360 kilo total. That is a good lift, and this will come down to our final attempt of the session. Yor Moreno has just made 200 kilos.
And folks, just a reminder, after this last lift here, as we watch the replay.
6 for 6 day for Moreno. Sorry, go ahead.
No worries. I just letting everyone know after this lift, this final lift, the final lift of this session, which would also incidentally take Yolmis Hernandez to 6 for 6 as well. We will be taking a short break, and we'll be back at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the women's 75 kilogram A session with live color commentary brought to you by barbent.com. But now, Yolmis Hernandez, the final clean and jerk of the men's 85 kilogram A session, 203 kilograms.
For the gold. And a perfect 6 for 6 day.
So take him to gold in the clean and jerk and total.
This is for everything. And Yolmis Hernandez has defended his 2016 Pan Am Championship. There is your winner in the men's 85 kilo category. Let's take a look.
I could watch this all day, JP. Well, folks, as we're watching the replay of this final clean and jerk that secures the gold medal in the clean and jerk and overall for Yolmis Hernandez of Cuba, thank you so much for tuning in. This is the 2017 Pan American Weightlifting Championships with plenty more lifting to go. Let's take a look from the side here.
The two top places, gold and silver, in this session were a perfect 6 for 6.
And that just shows you the level of competition here and how tightly these lifters were grouped. Well, folks, what a riveting session. We'll be back in just a little bit with the women's 75.